Old NBC, known as once the highest rated network during its golden era. Old NBC was the bomb, with such variety of entertainment. Talk shows like Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, even David Letterman's talk show was on the first 11 seasons. When it came to the drama, there was Law and Order, ER, Matlock, the game shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. The NBA on NBC made the network more magical when it returned in the 90s. Let's not forget the comedy shows that made NBC so special. I Dream of Jeannie, Sanford and Son, Cheers, The Cosby Show. Yes, before we knew the truth about Bill Cosby raping women. The Golden Girls, Will and Grace, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Blossom, Frasier, Friends, and the list goes on. But there is one show during the 90s overall in NBC history that was on another level, putting the network on the map. You know what show I'm talking about when hearing the guitar bass theme song. That's right, I'm honoring the show about nothing, and that is Seinfeld. Yes, I am a Seinfeld fan, and I watched this show since growing up. Seinfeld aired from July 5th, 1989 until May 14th, 1998 on NBC for 9 seasons. The show focuses on the fictional version of Jerry Seinfeld living in New York City with his friends and neighbor. The show was created by Seinfeld himself and Larry David. Seinfeld is known for its dark humor and edgy comedy. The four main characters are funny, lovable, and wacky. Even the recurring characters in the show makes the show gold. Let's check out the characters. Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry rarely runs into major personal problems and still has the same career being a comedian, just like in real life. Jerry once worked as an umbrella salesman, claiming he invented the twirl. He eventually quit the job to focus on his comedy career. Just like Monica Geller of Friends, he is a neat freak. Jerry and Monica would have been some couple. Oh wait, they were in the wife episode. Courtney Cox portraying as Jerry's fake wife to share a cleaning discount. Also in real life, Jerry is a fan of comic book characters. Superman particularly is his hero. He is also a sports fan of the New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, New York Knicks, New York Giants, New York Yankees, pretty much almost New York anything. Just like his fictional self, did I also mention he's a big cereal fan? When it comes to failed relationships, Jerry always has a reason to break up with women for their slightest of flaws. It could be due to the fact that a woman tends to eat her peas one at a time. I can't blame Jerry on that. Like, who does that? Just eat besides just one freaking pea, refusing to taste his pie at the coffee shop because she once dated Newman, especially since him and Newman are enemies, because she had an irritating laugh. Not to mention, has anyone ever wondered why Jerry, despite being a comedian, lives in an apartment? Don't tell me he's a struggling comedian, like how Joey from Friends is a struggling actor. How is Jerry struggling with his comedy career? He's not struggling. George Costanza, Jerry's best friend and friends with Elaine and Cosmo Kramer. Often described as a short, stocky, slow-witted, bald man by himself and Elaine did in the Little Kicks episode. George is a neurotic, self-loathing character dominated by his parents, yet also prone to occasional periods of overconfidence at the worst time. Plus, he's considered, unfortunately, a loser when it comes to being unemployed, still living with his parents until the later seasons, and is bad at meeting women. Plus, his relationships tend to end badly. George may not be the ladies' man like Jerry and Kramer, but he still gets the women regardless. Plus, still is a lovable character on the show. George is based off Larry David himself. George's last name comes from Mike Costanza, a college classmate of Jerry's. Larry David was often asked to play George, but only interested in writing since it never occurred to him. Even if it did, he said he highly doubted NBC would have approved him being a part of the cast. Jason Alexander was definitely outstanding as George. You couldn't think of anyone better. Elaine Benes, Jerry's ex-girlfriend but still close friend, also George and Kramer's friend. She is considered, quote, one of the boys, unquote. You can say she's a tomboy since she doesn't have female friends. Pretty much a lot of women hate her. Elaine is normally intelligent and assertive, but also superficial. She's also edgy, neurotic, just like George, and has the tendency to get easily angry. Plus, Elaine is hot from her frizzy hair to wavy hairstyles. Not to mention has a sexy voice. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is still a fox at the age of 55. If this was Kiss, Marry, or Kill, I'll totally marry her in a heartbeat. Oh wait, I did from my Kiss, Marry, or Kill video. Oh yeah, she's sponge-worthy, and is my sexy little white chocolate Kit Kat. We can't forget about Jerry's one and only wacky, lovable, hilarious neighbor, Cosmo Kramer. Just simply called Kramer, his last name. Kramer is based off comedian Kenny Kramer, Larry David's ex-neighbor across the hall. Kramer is known as a hipster doofus, according to Elaine. Smoking Cuban cigars, classically bursts and slides through Jerry's apartment, Kramer is so damn funny, friendly, kind-hearted, and is always honest. Pretty much why he's a ladies' man. Heck, he's a little more successful than George. Maybe if George would stop trying so hard and be himself, he would be fine. I mean, who doesn't love Kramer? He's pretty much friends with anybody. Even Newman, who we all know is enemies with Jerry. Who doesn't love Kramer's clumsiness? Him being energized. The way he gets startled, getting scared to death is funny as hell. I also like how when he's afraid or he worries about something, he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. It's so funny. He sounds like a rape victim. Kramer is also known to get his friends into trouble when talking them into illegal actions. The recurring characters in the series make the show even more entertaining and funny, as it already is. Hello, Newman. Yes, Jerry's enemy. Why are they enemies? It's never explained because it's Seinfeld. Certain things are never to be explained. We don't even know what was the reason for Jerry and Elaine to break up. Newman is a stereotypical evil genius who is a funny character, especially hearing his laugh and his expressions when laughing. I mean, who wouldn't burst out laughing the way he's laughing right now? George's parents, Frank and Estelle Costanza. Frank is portrayed by the great legendary Jerry Stiller, the father of Ben Stiller. I mean, he is funny as hell as Frank, and he was also funny as Arthur on The King of Queens. And Estelle Costanza, portrayed by Estelle Harris, who was also on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Despite them being loud and making George's life a living hell, these two are entertaining and hilarious together. Jerry's good old Uncle Leo. He's very keen on Jerry to say hello. Jay Peterman, Elaine's boss since the season 6 finale, and founder of the J. Peterman Company. David Puddy, portrayed by the great Patrick Warburton. Elaine's on and off again boyfriend. David Puddy is awesome, just like in the Face Painter episode. Jackie Childs. Love me some Jackie Childs. Kramer's lawyer, and he's also eccentric, just like Kramer. Although very successful, he has bad luck when representing Kramer. Seinfeld, since the first 2 seasons, were struggling, but NBC stuck by the show and Seinfeld succeeded since then. Jerry said the show kept moving around, coming on after unsolved mysteries. Same thing happened to Cheers. It was nearly canceled during its first season, but NBC had faith in Cheers and saw the potential of the show. And look at Cheers now. It's a legendary classic show to this day. Despite running for wonderful 9 seasons, NBC offered Jerry Seinfeld a lot of money to renew a 10th season. But Seinfeld turned it down since at the time he was not married, did not have kids, pretty much wished to focus on his personal life. I also heard that he felt the show was not the same when Larry David left after season 7. Jerry probably thought season 10 would have been milked to death and would have gotten worse. It would have been nice to see just one more season. It would have been nice to see a 10th season of Seinfeld, especially to know what happened to Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer after they were released from prison. Not 11th or 12th season, but just one more, a 10th season of Seinfeld. Seinfeld and Friends would have tied for running for 10 seasons, since Friends ran a season longer than Seinfeld. Heck, Frasier ran for 11 seasons and ran 2 seasons longer than Seinfeld and a season longer than Friends. Also, in the link in the description box is a video where Jerry Seinfeld explains his favorite episode of Seinfeld. And someone asked, what would Seinfeld be like if it ran today? Jerry said that honestly he thought the show would have been annoying due to the social media. And with all the digital capabilities, it would have made it an annoying place. I mean, you can't blame him. He does have a point. It would be pretty annoying. And like he said, they were pretty old school. They were old school annoying. They would just go knock on doors and see people. I mean, think about it. If Seinfeld was to air today right now, instead of Kramer bursting into Jerry's apartment door, he would just pretty much text Jerry instead, if you think about it. Also, in the link in the description box, there's also a pretty much supposed to be a Seinfeld reunion. I heard it was from the Larry David show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. So you can also check that in the link in the description box, along with the video where Jerry explains his favorite Seinfeld episode. So, this has been my honoring Seinfeld video. I thought it was right to do a video honoring this classic TV show considered one of the greatest shows of all time. To this day, you can check out reruns of Seinfeld on TBS along with Friends. From Tuesdays to Fridays, Seinfeld reruns run from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I know Seinfeld used to run on weekends as well, but I guess lately TBS decided not to air the reruns on the weekends. But either way, check out reruns of Seinfeld and Friends on TBS. Since Friends, reruns is pretty much shown on Saturdays for them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. See you later. Seinfeld for life. Seinfeld forever.